Demonstration is very important. First things first, my name is Kenneth Burma. Company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I get asked this all the time. Second company is BlackSeriesEdition.com, coming out November the 2nd. We get asked this all the time. So, let's tell you what they ask. Not only is it the white screen we're always asked all the time, it's also two great products. We're always asked all the time because, again, you got people out there lying and telling you at the end of the day that the gray screen is going to have that ability to pull contrast level next to a black screen. That is an absolute complete lie. So I'll show you. We have it over here. What did I do with it? We just had it a few minutes ago. We had some network grade 773 in here. All right, hold on for a minute. Let me figure out what I just did with the sample sheet. We just had in here a few minutes ago. Let me check. Oh, we have it over here. Sorry about that. I have it over here. I was just talking about on Facebook about network grade 773 next to our technology, how somehow it was supposed to be where that technology was supposed to turn our screens black and unwatchable. But I just want to show you that. I was showing that on Facebook a few minutes ago. They were curious about that. So they like that. We get every once in a while, we get them in the room and they'll start talking about these fake demonstrations that they know they can't back up. So, biggest lie ever told. Can a gray screen paint pull a contrast level? Now, we all know what the network grade 773 represents. And anybody, when we put the challenge out, we also put this in the challenge of one of the screens we won against. And again, if you don't want to match this product, don't do the challenge. Well, let's see. Now, we're not going to be sitting all the way up on the screen because that's unnecessary. We need to do it from back here. There is a 39 Extreme Black Widow sitting right there. As you can see, it's daytime, lights coming through. It looks nice over there, right? Let's start this demonstration real quick because I got to be updated on the website in a few minutes. And let's show you from back here. We don't need to be that close. If I have to walk over there to show you, then it's a failed demonstration. So, can a gray screen, now this is basic common sense. I don't know who would ever believe this, that a screen of that color, that complexion, it's going to match a black screen. It can't even match gunmetal. So how would that even be possible? Who believes this? No, that's the same demonstration you're seeing on somebody's website, right? So in that demonstration, that woman in the black makeup is sitting in a dark environment. There's no windows in that demonstration. There's no light pushing on the screen. And then on top of that, there's a very expensive projector sitting there with a 2 million to 1 contrast on it, which means you're going to have that in order to pull that contrast level. Where in our technology, our projector sits back 19 feet from the screen. Our screen is a whopping 127 inches, 1610, and it sits in a bay of windows. It can see a 100% contrast level where the gray screen paint can't pick it up, can't register. Now, if I do picture-picture comparisons, which we don't have time to do today because that would be too easy, there's no way in a way to be able to match a 39, virtually impossible. We don't require a projector with a 2 million to 1 contrast. We don't require 4K. We don't even use 1080p. This is a 720p 600 by 800 res projector at $150. My screen is not 100 inches. My screen is 127 inches, 1610, so it's larger than that screen. And my screen sits in a bay of windows, not tucked in a corner somewhere with little bits of light pushing out around the screen. You see the lights that are hitting around my screen right now? They're completely canceled out. Oop, there goes the surface. At least it knows. So no, a gray screen cannot see contrast. It doesn't pick it up. It doesn't register at all, period. It doesn't have the capability. It has to be stuck in a dark environment in order to try to pick up a shade of gray. Not black, shade of gray. So yes, you were lied to. Doesn't work. Let me get this off my screen. Right here. Doesn't work. I did this yesterday on 200 lumens. I did this yesterday on 4,000, 5,000, ultra short throw. It doesn't pick up. Does it have the ability to be able to turn a Black screen darker, well, that's a white surface right there. So that would pick up a higher white level than this. So no, it doesn't have that capability either. It doesn't have it. You just can't see pick up contrast at all, period. We'll put it right over here. That should go pretty well. All right. Now we're a little closer in here. We're 11 feet in here. We're at 3,000 lumens in here. This is my portable Optima projector. Let's see if it can turn the screen dark and unwatchable. No. Can't even see color, as we explained to you before. So yeah, we got somebody came in. We're in a Facebook forum site a few minutes ago, having some talks in there. We're showing up the technology with all the light hitting it, talking about the new price drop for the Crystal Edge. And somebody came in and said, well, gray screens can pull, no, they don't. Where are you getting this from? They can't see contrast. They don't pick it up. They don't register. It doesn't exist at all. It's an old product. I advise you before you come into a room talking nonsense, know what you're talking about before you start talking. You're going to look like an idiot in there. And that's what happened. You end up looking like an idiot. They don't pick up. I don't care what gray service you get to pick up. That's they can show it's certified. Now, we have 2.0s and gunmetals. They pick up a heavy contrast level, but they don't pick up black. They pick up shades of darker grays. They don't pick up black. These screens pick up a 100% black level. But it was just interesting hearing them go in there and just, we get, like I said, we get them once in a while in there. They're going there and they rant and carry on about how it picks up a black level. Okay, if it picks up a black level, then you don't show me. I want to see this. And we'll never see another demo. We won't see anything from them. They just leave out of the room upset and angry. And we get this not just from one group. We get this from other people who make gray screen paints that have come up and try to challenge this black technology. Let me explain something to you. Those of you who make these great products. Those of you who don't mention us, and we don't care what you do in the day, you're good. But those of you at the end of the day that make these great products and you still want to bring these relics in and talk to someone who's basically designed your product long before you guys were on YouTube. Understand this. I was making your products. I know everything there is about your products. When I watch your demonstrations, I can see all the flaws and failures in your products because I made those products too. So I know, I have experience in that field. I also have experience in gunmetal technology because we have D5K, D6K technology. It was way before the gunmetal technology, and my gunmetal technology can show demonstrations against certified gunmetal screens and taking them out. So when you come at me and you say, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, oh, trust me, I do. On so many levels, it's not even funny. And I can tell exactly when I watch one of your demonstrations that you don't have any tests because you can't test that product. There's nothing you can run on it. It won't work at all, period. Can't use a distance throw on it because, again, you're still going to have to show contrast and color and the screen can't see it. So what point is it doing a distance throw on it? Low lumen projector, again, still got to pick up contrast and color, won't work. High lumen projectors, won't work. You got to still pick up contrast and color. What are you going to do? All the demonstrations in a dark environment? So no matter what projector you choose, doesn't make a difference. You still are going to have to use it in a fully lit environment. This isn't 9 years ago where you could get away with basically doing a demonstration with one light bulb in a room and your windows shut. Today, now with ambient light rejection technology being all the rage, you have to be in fully lit environments to do these demonstrations. So if your screen can't maintain, doesn't make a difference what caliber projector you use, you can't pick up. That's what it comes down to. Because the technology is old. That's why. Couldn't care less what you're using things. Still got to be in the dark. Now, like I said, we got a few of them that do pop up from time to time. We see them in forum sites talking about the great products. Oh, it does this, it does that. And every time I look at a demonstration, it's the same thing. A little bit of window light peeking through. Curtains over here blocking out most of the screen. A door that has nothing to do with the screen that's way over here. Window light, again, not even anywhere near the screen whatsoever. And we're talking about other people, not this particular person, showing off these demonstrations. Then we show our demonstrations, and then you leave the room. It's supposed to be in a fully lit environment. Same thing, same ambient light. And then this is what they tell customers, because this is the protocol for all the screens. Well, if you want to optimize your viewing pleasure, you must have it in an ambient light controlled environment. AKA, we can't see. You have to. You want the best quality. You have to, it's going to look better once you calibrate it. I've heard that one in a few demonstrations. Have we not? Well, if you really want the best, you want to use this particular projector right here. It has a whopping a lot of lumens in it. It's going to cover up the areas where your screen may fade a little bit, and this is going to fix that problem. And advising you to buy a more expensive projector to basically fix the problem that the screen can't seem to be to produce. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So again, hoopla. Just face it, your products are outdated. You're doing the exact same demonstrations that people were doing 9 years ago, 10 years ago, probably a little farther back than that. But the only difference is you're introducing it to newer projectors that we have today. And the reason why, the sad thing about it, with the newer projectors, you still can't get an improvement. You're still stuck in that 9 to 10 years back with those older projectors. You may show a little bit of a better picture, but you're still stuck. You can't be in fully lit environments. You can't pass the test that other technology screens can do because you can't beat it. I haven't seen you guys go against gunmetal. Where's the gunmetal technology? For some reason, y'all completely skipped that entire category of gunmetal technology. Where are the tests? Where are the demonstrations? Mind you, if you take a gunmetal screen and you stick it in a dark environment, the reason why it's in a dark environment because their screen has to be in a dark environment. If you order one of our real screens, like not the fake nonsense that you buy, that you make at the end of the day, you take our technology at the end of the day that we don't have to be in the dark. The one I saw in the 2.0, why did you have the 2.0 in the dark? That technology is designed to be in fully lit environments, but again, they can't go in that environment because their screen will wash out. So they have to stay in the dark. That's why you see all the demonstrations in the dark. Whatever they test, whatever projector they use, in the dark, in the dark, in the dark. Because that's where the screen has to stay. So we see this in demonstrations. When you try to do fully lit environments, your screen completely washes out. It looks nothing like the demonstration that you did on the projector that you were using. Completely different. Doesn't even look the same in any way whatsoever. So keep in mind you are peddling a old product from many years back and trying to introduce it to newer projectors that try to change the outlook of it, and you're lying to your customers. Because when your customer comes in and tries to mimic that same demonstration and they try to put that in an environment other than the dark environment it was sitting in, it's going to have issues. Now, you saw the demonstration with the 39 and all that light it was taken in, showing that contrast level. If I took your screen paint and I stuck it in that environment, what do you think would happen? It would wash out. It would look exactly like the network gray. It just hit the floor. That's what would happen. So, again, people who make these products, tell the truth. Just say, hey, look, it works well in an ambient light controlled environment. Contrast levels or shades of dark, shades of gray, and then have a level of the shade of gray that it's picking up, because gunmetal is going to pick up much higher. And be honest. Don't go on camera talking about, oh, it pulls a 100% contrast level, better than the black screen, and then do demonstrations with a projector where you're trying to alter those levels and stay in a dark environment to fool people. Don't do that nonsense at the end of the day. You're misleading people. You're doing the same thing that the certified companies do. When they come in there and they basically use an ambient light controlled environment, a whopping $3,000 or $5,000 projection screen that's calibrated with by a professional, and a projector that costs as much as a small car. And they'll say, you can get this same image. Now, if you ain't got a $50,000 Sony sitting up there, you won't. Saw that demonstration. I'm not going to name the company, but we know who had a $50,000, 10,000 lumen, ultra short though, laser projector sitting about inches from a screen. And you're going to sit there and go, oh, look at the technology. Dude, you see the size of that coffee table that's called a projector at the end of the day. I can put notebook paper up there and make it look like a plasma TV next to that thing. So no. That's not impressive. That's nothing impressive. That projector is doing literally all the work in that demonstration. 10,000 lumens, less than a foot away from a screen, and it's laser 4K at that. Oh, please. So yeah, they have to use those projectors because that's in order to make the screen look a certain way. Now, if you get home, you're going to tell me I buy that $5,000 screen over there, and I got myself a 1080p, maybe a 4K Epson at home, and I'm gonna get the same image as that $50,000 coffee table? No, you won't. If that's the case, and I've said it many times before, then what's the point of spending 50 grand for a coffee table projector if you can do the same thing with a projector that costs you maybe about $4,000 to $3,000? That's what I'm talking about. So they do it too. Yes, they do. They do it too. They all do it. So they tell you what you're actually going to get at the end of the day. When you get home and you get that, what the freak am I looking at? Doesn't it look the same way? Of course it doesn't look the same way. You don't have the same projector, the same caliber of machine, that's why. And then they tell you the lie. Well, if you want the image, you're going to have to calibrate. Come on. So you're going to calibrate a $4,000 projector to look like a $50,000? No, it's not going to happen. You're going to calibrate a $1,800 projector, a $1,000 projector, a $500 projector to look like a $4,000? No, it's not going to work. Not going to work. You're not going to get the same contrast, same color. It's not going to work. You can calibrate to fix it a little bit, but not that much. And why should you, again, calibrating shouldn't be doing that. So that's the problem. So that's why we use the low-end, cheaper projectors, because the customer can go in and go, oh, my projector is better than that. Yeah, your projector is better than that. And even if it's not, and it's the same one we have in here, it's not going to cost you a lot of money. It's $34. These are under $50. So how's it going to cost you any money? Yeah, that's what it comes down to, people. Bunch of smoke and mirrors. This is why when we give them challenges, we give them the challenge for that ultra short, though 150-inch display we had in here, to do that on a projector. He could use his own at 150 inches. He could do it no problem. But he would have to show all contrast levels on that screen. Not going to work. The screen's going to wash out. And you're going to have objects in there, but you'll have speakers or black paint or whatever next to that screen to show that he's pulling the same contrast levels. You can't go out and tell lies on camera without backing it up. And please don't come up to me and ask me to back something up at the end of the day. I do that in every video demonstration I'm in. That's why I got a stack of certified sitting in the corner, which is another thing I find quite interesting. That as long as these people have been making these products, where are your certified screen collection? Because you should have a stack of them by now. Again, that requires testing. And again, by doing certified screens, that means they would have to pull away from the crutch projector. You can't use certain screens on ultra short throws, which means they'll have to swap out their machines and do those in fully lit environments, which it's going to plague the screen. It's going to be a problem. So the gray screen paint product is, as I said before, it's a dinosaur. It's outdated. That's what it is. And if you don't believe me, you go to any one of these certified companies, any of them, and ask them, what is your top flagship screen? And I guarantee it'll be a gunmetal. The darkest screen they got in their category, I guarantee you 100%, it'll be a gunmetal. No one's going to sit there and say, oh, it's our light screen. No, light screen is one of the mid to cheap screens. You look at elite screens, they have a white screen. They have the cinema gray, which is kind of like the same color this product we have down here. Like a gray mixture, that's what it looks like. Then you have the cinema gray 5D, which is a bit of a mid gray. And then you have the Dark Star 9, which is a dark screen, which is a $3,000 screen. Daylight makes other light screens too. But guess what? That screen they make, I can't pronounce their name correctly for Jack, but that darker screen is the most expensive, a $5,000 screen. Diamond, pretty sure they make lighter screens too. But guess what? Guess what? Their darkest gunmetal screens are $5,000 and up. So you got somebody on here on YouTube telling you that these light grade products are supposed to be good for 4K projectors, but you got certified companies that'll tell you, no, that's not true. It'll be the darker screens that will give you the best quality. There you go. That's why it sits in the dark at or most of the ones we've seen already, if they weren't white screens, they were gray screens. We're all sitting in the dark with ultra short throw projectors. That's the first red flag. If you ever see an ultra short throw projector sitting in a dark environment and that screen is washed out and you can't see the lights, and it's very much, the lights are peppered through the environment. It's an ambient control environment, but if that majority of that demonstration is dark, that screen's having a serious issue because you're sitting right on top of the screen. You have 3,000 lumens less than a foot away from a screen. We got 3,000 lumens on our projector right here, and we're at 11 feet. So that's the first sign that there's something wrong with the screen. And whatever environment they're in, you're going to be in. Have you noticed when you looked at the demonstrations, sorry we have to say this, on the website of his customers, every single one of them was sitting in a poorly lit environment. Every single one of them. You look at my demonstrations of my customers, they're all sitting in fully lit environments. Some of them are even outside. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, with that being said, I just had to clear it up because we had a fellow came in talking about, no, gray screen paints can pull contrast levels. No, they cannot. They cannot see them at all, period. They pick up shades of gray. And something that light definitely is not going to be able to pick up, not even near gunmetal, it doesn't even pick up at all, period. All right, well, let's see. Now, keep in mind, for anyone who decides to challenge me on this, and well, you got to challenge it anyway, you're not going to complete it. But anyway, if you plan to challenge and do this test correctly against the Dark Star 9, if you choose to do the Dark Star 9, keep in mind, no ultra short throw projectors are allowed because it does not work on ultra short throw projectors. And you're going to have to do the demonstrations in a fully lit environment. I know it's a very uncomfortable place for your screen to be at, but again, don't talk something up that you can't challenge at the end of the day. Now, we don't expect to see that in a dark environment. We expect to see it in a fully lit environment because that screen has a 0.9 gain attached to it, and it's designed to be used in a well-lit environment where your screen has to be with that screen. If you're going to challenge that technology, you need to be in a well-lit environment when you're going against it. And that means that screen can maintain a contrast level like a star field, which means you're going to have to be in a fully lit environment with that technology producing a star field. We're not talking about no fake contrast demonstrations where you see a lot of color and white levels and a little bit of black level in there. And, oh, it's black levels. No, I'm talking about 100% black levels where you got the goldfish, which is a perfect one because the background shows the jet black. The star field is another fantastic one because there's a lot of black in that one. Those kind of ones. We have very little color and very little white levels. There's a majority of all black in it. That's what you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to pick up that contrast level next to that Dark Star 9 in that fully lit environment. If you can't pass a gunmetal, then you're not going to pass our technology. That's going to be the problem right there. So on the first minute, we get people in there talking about how they can pull contrast level. How many gunmetal demonstrations have you done? And they can't comment on that because they haven't done any. Now, the demonstration I did see someone do on the Dark Star 9, they displayed colors, they displayed white levels. Where was the contrast? Why was the room so dark? And I know you weren't using that on an ultra short throw projector because that's a definitely no-no. Can't use that on an ultra short throw projector. You got to use that on a long throw. Even the, the Epson 955 HW has a 10,000 to 1 contrast on it. So that's more than enough. You don't need more than that. That's all you need. You got to go 2 million to 1. Something's definitely wrong right there if you got to have that high of a black level. But you could do that easy. We could do that. Oh, we have black screen. That's another story. We could do that at 100 to 1 contrast and still pull. Yeah. But on a gray screen, yeah, you're going to have to go with the average consumer. The average consumer is not going to have a 2 million to 1. They're going to have somewhere like a 2,000 to 1 contrast. So that's where you're going to have to be at. Never thought about that too. He doesn't even use a contrast level that most normal consumers would be using. Average consumer is not using a 2 million to 1. An average consumer is probably using a 2,000 to 1 contrast ratio. That's what they're using. Yep. That's exactly what they're using. So you have to go bare minimum. Matter of fact, you need to just get rid of that P2 altogether. Just get rid of it, put it in the closet somewhere, and do all your demonstrations on an ultra short throw with a 2,000 to 1 contrast level. And do that in a fully lit environment. See how that turns out for you. You can pick up the one we have in the next room. It's only like around $200. It's cheap. So you should be doing demonstrations off of that. That's what you should be doing, and a well-lit environment. Now, I can't express this enough. The people who have these products. When you do these demonstrations, for goodness sakes, do not forget the star field demonstration. Every time I watch these demonstrations, I'm skimming through the videos. Where's the contrast? Where's the contrast? Where's the contrast? Same thing. Bunch of scenery, birds, fish, cat, ocean, whatever. No star field at all. No solid contrast levels. Nothing at all. Just a bunch of colors going across the screen. If I see one more freaking scenery, I'm just going to lose it. Star field. You see my demonstrations where we pull up a white snowstorm and we take a white surface and gray screens and we stick that against the technology, because we do a lot of white bright levels on the screen, because black screens are unheard of basically pulling up white levels, where gray screens are supposed to pull up contrast levels, which means out of 100% of that demonstration, 95 of those have to be contrast levels, because you have to show something that the screen is not designed to do. And as you're doing this demonstration, can't express this enough, you can't be in the dark while doing this. You need to be in a fully lit environment. So that way the customer knows at the end of the day, if he sticks this screen in a well-lit environment, which is not going to be yours at the end of the day, he's going to be to maintain a contrast level without the screen washing out. But if you stick the screen in an ambient light controlled or dark environment, stick a bunch of pretty lights around the back of the screen, and with a projector with a 2:1, you have just now lied to your customer. Because he's going to think he's going to get that same image. And he's not going to get the same image. Because if he goes outside that element of your ambient light controlled environment and stick it in a well-lit environment, his screen's going to wash out. I'm not going to bring up house paint because we know that'll never be done. Oh, it'll never be done. Why? Why? It's just so easy. Do the freaking demonstration. My goodness. I hear that falling for some reason. I don't know why. Just get it done. Do it. Did it fall? Do it. Let's get it done. People fight that demonstration so much. My goodness. They fight that demonstration to death. I don't understand it. The paint on the demonstration, they fight it so much. Do you know how many different versions of black paint that I have tested against my screen? There's so many of them that I literally have a website full of those demonstrations. Every last one of these screens have that demonstration done next to them. Do you have any idea how many times I had to do that over and over and over and over again on camera? I even did it outside. A simple demonstration of just doing a paint comparison. You have to do that. Anyone who's out there interested in making gray screen paints, or whatever you're going to be doing at the end of the day, I don't care. But whatever you're going to be making, you're going to have to do that demonstration. I know you don't want to, but you're going to have to. Because you have to be the backup. Because say you're selling this product, and I'm one of those guys in the crowd. I go, hey, what's the difference between that product and me just going to Home Depot and just buying some black and white mixture, or me just buying the paint off the shelf, some great paint? What's the difference between your product? Can you show me? That's going to come up a lot in form sites. Comes up on us all the time on black screens. So how do you get around that? Because I'm pretty sure, and everybody's going to, if you're thinking that you're going to walk into a form site, no one's going to ask that question. They're all going to ask that question. Well, what makes your product so different? I mean, I've made my own. I went down, and everybody has done that. Everybody basically bought a white screen, didn't like it. I went to a form site. Oh, it's just black and white paint. That's all it is. Went to Home Depot or Lowe's, bought black and white paint, mixed it together, put it on the screen. Voila. They went with that because I gave them a little better image than the white screen. So if you're offline, like you're saying, we will be offline doing business, and someone comes up to you and says, well, what's the difference between that and me going to Home Depot and buying some gray paint? What are you going to do? There you go. This is why we don't find them in form sites. Form sites are brutal. Yeah. You got to be here to back it up. You have to. $34 projector. Well, like you paid $34 for that projector. $34. When I saw it, the guy was he meant like, you want this? I was like, heck yeah, I want that projector. Shoot, $34? Give me that projector. I can't see contrast at all, period. Can't see contrast. You can't even pick up skin tones because contrast is involved in skin tones. Contrast plays a huge part everywhere in your projector. Color, everywhere. And also too, white levels play that part also. If your white levels are too high, you can't see the contrast. You can't see the contrast, you won't see the color. It's a domino effect. So those of you that hear people who have products that look like this are saying that, oh, it's a lie. That's definitely a lie. And they want to just challenge them. Send them a message. Say, hey, look, do me a favor. Can you turn all the lights on in that environment, brighten it up, and show me a star field and pour a black level? I want to see a 1% black level pull on that screen. Guarantee they won't do it. They'll give you 1,000 excuses. Yes, sound of this? You do, don't you? Now my screen here is 120 inches, 16:9. If I had this screen coated with this gray paint, do you have any idea how bad this image would have came up? And it's a 600 by 800, 720p SVGA projector. It's nothing to do with the projector. That's just knock off. It's the screen that's having the issue. For time. How come you don't use it? Your projector? Capo's projector. So yeah, to answer your question, no. Gray screens, white screens don't see contrast. That's all. They don't see it. They can't pick it up. Being fooled. That's why the environments are always so dark. And that's why they use projectors with high contrast capabilities to fool you. They're lying to you. But they feel that if I'm basically lying and I'm not telling the truth here, mimic my demonstration exactly to the T and do it live. If they don't do the demonstration, then it means I told you the truth. But like I said, in all my demonstrations, if I'm sitting here lying about you, lying about this, and this is not true, then you wouldn't have no problem for getting yourself a long throw projector, get rid of that 2 million to 1, drop that thing back 11 feet, because that's what we're using in here, and do that demonstration without that screen washing out. Oh, and don't forget the network grade 773, because you're going to have that next to your screen. If we only get one person who gets upset about it, or two people get upset about it. The other person, we don't mention him because, again, like I said, this guy literally shot himself in the foot with his product. We can run this one too. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Go back to the beginning on that one. Yeah, so we don't mention him. He self-destructed himself, man. Easily. Bad idea. Never, ever, ever make a screen paint a 4-code application. Don't do that. Worst thing you want to do. Nobody wants to do a 4-code application at all, period. You got people nervous enough about putting 1 code in. You got to put 4 of them in? Don't do that. Bad idea. Don't go on camera and talk about theories that are not true because someone's going to question you on it. This is why they get mad and they get upset because they're questioned on their theories and they can't come up with some kind of answer behind it because it's not real. It's fake. They got busted. They're outed. That's why we need the mic open. We need the mic open for a purpose. So they can come in and you can watch them rant, carry on, and act up. And ask some basic questions against their own video demonstrations. And they rant and go off because they can't back their products up and they're being outed. So when someone's caught up in a situation where they're caught up in a lie, what's the first thing they do? They go on the offensive, they start ranting and carry on and cursing. It's human behavior. That's exactly what they displayed in the room. Instead of coming in and saying something more professional by saying, well, hey, look, you know, I'll do some demonstrations today. I'll back up the product. Or I apologize. You know, I misled people at the end of the day. I promise to do better. Something like that. But no, cursing and carrying on and acting up like that. No, you don't do stuff like that. That clearly shows that you're guilty. We've all been there before. Catch somebody in a lie and they go off. A person who would back up their products at the end of the day, a person who can tell the truth at the end of the day, it's going to back it up. They're going to back it up. Whether you're out there talking about football stats or baseball stats or whatever it may be, that person will go back to the house, print something up and go, here you go, in your face, so and so and so, to back it up. Person that can't back it up, a person is basically going to start cursing and carrying on and get upset and angry. Yeah, it's human behavior. We all know how it is. So I just ask them questions on their own products, on what does this mean? If you're going to tell me it's a stacking system, then you show me it's a stacking system. Show me how the stacking system works. Show me the reaction if you remove one of the items out of the stacking system. What's the result to the final screen? Show me this. You know, no one's going to give you any contracts at the end of the day without you backing that up. Who in their right mind is going to sit there and sign you to a contract and say, stacking what? So how does this work? How does this stacking system work? And if you get on Shark Tank, they're going to ask you, what do you mean by this? Can you explain this to me? Can you show me this? I need to see this before I actually put money into this. And if you can't back that up, then what you going to do? Go on the offensive and curse them out too? All right. Got to be to back your stuff, man. Let's go over to how was that possible? I just saw you do it. That door's heavier than you. Yeah, I saw you ran. You're not in any trouble. It's just weird. So you want the door open? Go ahead. Door's open. What's about? Open the door with his face. Door's heavier than him. So now you're showing me untold ninja powers. Yeah, they're going to question you on it, but I guess they feel no one's going to question them. That's what it is. Well, let me explain something to you, gentlemen. When you go into one of those forum sites, there are 100 of my kind sitting in there that will question you on every single thing. And I like those people at the end of the day, because those are the ones we like to give us challenge. But if you're going to have a problem in there, boy, you're going to crumble quick. And they're going to ask you. And if you can answer those questions, boy, they're going to start some stuff on you on every forum site, platform they can get on. Yeah, I just talked to that guy. He's a fake at the end of the day. Don't even bother going near him. Don't even go to his forum. He's a joke. Better be to back it up. Let me see. I'm going to go with screen saves. Oh, snow screen saves. Give me the snow. The snow ones. I'm gonna say, I know you ain't on my sofa doing that. Oh, there's a stand I purchased. They going for $22. That's not bad. The same stand I got in there. You gotta be careful with the stand. Stands are different with how they come in. You get it for 22, it's probably a lightweight stand, which they're okay, but they're kind of flimsy. If you want a good heavy stand, you gotta pay like 95 to $100 for them. It's definitely worth it. It's a nice little portable thing you can take apart and put back together.
Freeloading John Fetterman sponged off his
I'll be glad when this thing is over. I'm gonna be done with this mess. I wouldn't mind them so much if they just didn't slander the crap out of each other, because you know it's slander. You know it is. I mean, just say what it is. Okay, at the end of the day, you have to go on, oh, there's so and so and so and so. And then when they dig up stuff from your past that has nothing to do with it, and come on, that's just getting dirty. Just forget all that slandered nonsense. Just have a nice debate, and then you can see exactly where the chips lie, where they fall at the end of the day. Instead of bringing up stuff from people's past. Any politician I see doing that kind of stuff, I don't bother with them. I stay far away from them. Because you shouldn't be doing that at all, period. Where is my book? Looking for something. When I finish all my demonstrations, when I get settled in, when I get moved, I'm still going to be taking orders. I'm not doing any YouTube demonstrations for about a week. I've done so many video demonstrations in the last couple of days or months or whatever. I'm trying to get the site ready, get everything done, all the testing, everything that had to be done. I don't want to be on YouTube for a while. I don't want to be on any social media for a while. This would pretty much, push me to the point of social media burnout. But all this work had to be done because we needed to back everything up. This is something from you people at the end of the day who make these screen paints at the day and you don't back them up. You don't watch me. At the end of the day, you watch everything else I do. You don't take anything from this at all, period. Watch me coming here day and morning and night, every single day. Demonstration after demonstration after demonstration, test after test after test after test. You don't get anything from that. So next time you want to come in, you want to talk trash about one of my tests, how about you do the test yourself and show me where I'm doing something wrong in the test. Oh, but you don't do that because you can't back up the products. That's why. So they're talking about it, back your products up, especially that house paint, which still needs to be done, which again, once I leave from here and I'm ready to take up my next level, again, I got things to do. But they should have those tests done. They need to be done. And it's very important to get those tests done. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, I don't even know. And I'm gonna take that time off to go eat, shop, hang out with family. Still gonna be taking orders in. I'm still gonna be taking processing orders, so I'm still gonna be doing that. Just gonna come off YouTube for a while. This is the kind of stuff, basically doing this kind of work. Now I see why sometimes you have some people who do a lot of work on YouTube and they just disappear. I'm not going anywhere because, like I said, I got too much money invested in this. But so every once in a while, people got to take a break from social media. This would be one of those things. There's a white level screen right there. I like to do that at the end to show our white levels. Oh, what? Paris. That's definitely Paris. Coming yet? You play too much. You're too funny. Such a jokester, man. I swear you're a jokester. Weirdo. Talking to my cat over there. He's weird. All right, people, I got to go. I got some stuff I got to upload real quick, and I got to go to the Crystal Lake page and put the price drop in. And I got to get ready for some other things right now. Still haven't had a chance to look at the floor plans on the storefront because I got some stuff I want to do in there before we get in there. All right, got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.